I look for the invention of artificial life, the cloning of human beings, possible contact with extraterrestrials, possible human immortality. The mushroom said to me once, it said, "This is what it's like when a species prepares to depart for the stars. You don't depart for the stars under calm and orderly conditions. It's a fire in a madhouse."
Terence McKenna. Of course, he's talking about humanity and its ascension, but the same analogies apply. Within the crypto space, before we go into hyperspace and head for the stars, it's always the same thing. It's always fire in a madhouse. There's always something going on. We saw that last bull run where you had the pandemic and financial crashes, and now we got tariffs and conflict and a shaky economic outlook. But I think we're building towards the same thing in this space. We'll catch its legs and go on an epic run. We're going to go through it. David Schwartz, he's saying, listen, we thought this was going to be a straight line to success. It wasn't. Real world adoption, it's not going to come through hype. He really lays out the groundworks here of what we're going to have to see. Institutional DeFi, better on and off ramps, instant access for the unbanks. We have to be able to actually use this technology to pay our rent, pay our car payments, buy food. Like, that's practically what we're building towards. And so as you see these things like stable coins, DeFi, all this stuff they're building out, it all comes back to the same thing. A real world system that solves real world problems. It's just a roundabout detour we've had to go on to get there. And it's about really on-chain liquidity, because that's where we get those cost savings. Being able to do your transactions in a decentralized global marketplace. That's what's going to make the difference, not relying on old school systems of the past here. David Schwartz also setting the heckler straight, saying, listen, XRP, we don't have an issuer. There's no mint switch. We can't just print more of it. No VC games. Everything was created at launch. Deal with it. And that's the thing. That's what makes it a fair deal. All the rules were laid out. They weren't changed. There was no switcheroos. It just is, this is what it is. Either adopt it or try something else. XRP, it's not trying to be trendy. The newest thing. We're not doing DeFi because, well, that's hot. This was the original DeFi chain before anything else. There's no Ponzi-nomics, no frivolous features, debate devs into wars. It's just built to work, and that's exactly what it does. XRP delivers no drama, no dilution, no nonsense, just a powerful system for the future. And when people throw out, hey, we're worried about decentralization, what are you worried about? Because really the big part of this system is the ownership of the supply that Ripple owns. And the reason they still own so much of it, well, because they don't dump it. They're careful on what they're doing. And so I think really the one thing you want to look for is more people other than Ripple building on this blockchain and having success. That's the key. That's the thing to look out for. But when you do see that happen, when you see other players, launching on this blockchain, having success, watch out. That's really where we're headed for hyperspace. And I'll tell you this as well. I don't think BlackRock is just going to launch an ETF for XRP, the asset. I bet you they leverage this blockchain as well, just like they are doing on Ethereum and other blockchains, starting with their BIDL platform, but they have bigger plans for crypto as we go forward. They want to tokenize the world. Now, do I think that's a great thing for humanity? Do I trust BlackRock? Of course not. None of that. But they're going to be a big driver of value. You best believe it. I saw this breaking news here. Ripple challenges SEC rule that XRP is not a security. Of course, I don't need to explain that to this audience, but that ain't what's going on. No one can challenge that. The judge ruled, and that's a fact of law in this country. XRP is not a security. They're just trying to get that fine lowered and, more importantly, get rid of that injunction. And I think they'll get both eventually, just taking a little more effort. But ain't no one trying to challenge that aspect, especially Ripple, that XRP is not a security. What kind of article is that? Cover this briefly here. Dubai launching a $16 billion real estate tokenization platform on the XRP ledger. We've seen a lot of these pilot programs before. They don't lead to anything, but this could be a big one. It's backed by the Dubai Land Department. Lets investors buy fractional ownership in Dubai real estate. Of course, this is bringing liquidity to a generally illiquid asset class. Could really incentivize new investors to jump into real estate specifically here. And this is the type of thing where if they start to get some traction, it could be really big. Now, is it guaranteed to be $16 billion? I can almost guarantee it won't be that big, But again, it could be successful. And if it was, this would be a game changer and you'd see more people come to this space. The one thing about RWAs, it's not Ripple telling people that's what you need to be interested in. It's not the crypto investor telling people. This is what they want. From institutions to governments, they want to tokenize various assets from the stock market to real estate to precious metals to fiat currencies themselves and throw them on the blockchain. This is what they're interested in, and this is what the XRP ledger was built from day one here. We see this report. Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon says AI can now draft 95% of an S1 IPO prospectus in minutes, a job that used to require a 6-person team multiple weeks. The last 5% now matters because the rest is a commodity. The AI effect at its finest. We see this warning right here. Many people will lose their well-paid jobs: investment bankers, attorneys, consultants, accountants, doctors, designers, architects, and others. It'll be brutal, folks. Buckle up. Can't tell you what the future looks like because in terms of change and in terms of speed, we haven't seen anything like this. Just know the future tomorrow is going to be drastically different than what we're seeing today. Flare posting the following: XRP turbocharges FLR usage. This is exciting. Every time XRP becomes FXRP via F assets, it needs FLR for collateral and for gas. Minting 1,000 FXRP means users need to supply around 650 FLR as reserves. As XRP Fi adoption grows, the system drives continuous structural demand for FLR. I still say this is going to be a big performer when this space really heats up and gets cooking. Another one of my favorites that's been going through a hard time, Swing Foundation. They're bailing that DEX out with a secured loan as part of a plan to quickly compensate users for losses in full. And that's what I said at the beginning. This isn't nothing. This isn't some minor deal. It's a big deal. They'll get by it. They'll learn from this. This could happen in any blockchain, but it didn't. It happened on Sui. Understand that. So they're covering all those losses, but it's a significant step they have to do this, and it could have been a lot worse. Understand that. So anytime you have advanced features, smart contracts, bridging, any sort of this stuff, things can go wrong, and they can go wrong in a big way. Luckily, Sui was able to control the issues here with their DEX, their number one DApp, their number one decentralized exchange, and right that wrong. But they're going to take a hit in value for a bit here. I think they'll get back on the right track. And this is another big one. Breaking 21 Shares has filed a Sui ETF with NASDAQ. This is one of the most capable blockchains out there. It's going to get an ETF across the finish line. And at its current valuation, I think it's going to do quite well as we continue here. It's not all good. It's not all bad. You got to look at all sides of this for a realistic picture here. We see Jacob King saying the following: Michael Saylor might be the shadiest figure in crypto. A lot of people are upset with him. It was interesting. He was asked to verify his and his firm's public BTC wallets. He flat out refused, brushing it off with claims that disclosure could lead to cyber attacks, data breaches, and the crypto community ain't buying this. Like, seriously, isn't it the whole premise of Bitcoin built on transparency, security, and traceability of ownership? Let's be honest, they're hiding their wallets because they don't want the public to see they offloaded their bags after luring in retail sheep. I'll tell you this, I don't think they've sold off their cryptocurrencies. I believe they have what they hold for a lot of reasons. The custodians they use, the fact they are filing reports as a publicly traded company. If they don't have what they claim, everyone's going to jail. I highly doubt that's what's going on here. I think Michael Saylor just needs to think about this, and things he's doing, things an ETF does, it's not the same as what we do. The crypto enthusiast that wants to hold their coins and use them directly. So he really needs to come up with a good answer for some of this stuff. Rather than the challenge what other people do, explain why it's done differently. Because again, it's not appropriate for a lot of investors to hold crypto directly. This gives them optionality to do that. Now, my issue with Michael Saylor has nothing to do with his holdings. My problem with Michael Saylor is the debt and the fact that he has no real business to service that debt. And buying, a highly volatile asset with debt and no ability to service that debt is going to lead to trouble sooner than later. That's my issue with him. I have no doubt that they have the crypto backing they claim on those financial reports. Lastly, we see right here, crypto's total market cap has surged 1 trillion or 42% since April 8th, near a record 3.4 trillion. The crypto market value right now is 240 billion or 6% away from its December 2024 peak. So we're almost back in action here. This is still 380 billion or 25% below November 2021 high. And so it's interesting. Even though we see Bitcoin as high as it is, total market cap still down compared to 2021. Why? Well, the altcoins haven't got cooking yet. You know they're going to. You know that total crypto market cap, it's going to set new all-time highs. It's just we got to get to that point. It's close. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.